You probably did not realize something was happening to your money this week. Nobody announced it. Nobody sent you a text. Nobody broke into your regular programming. But if you own silver, or if you have been thinking about it, something just moved in the market that you need to understand right now. Because this might be one of those moments that you look back on years from now and say, I remember exactly where I was when that happened. And what you decide to do in the next few days could be the difference between catching one of the biggest wealth opportunities of the decade, or watching it in your rearview mirror. If you're interested in money, finance, or changing your financial future, like this video and subscribe right now, because what you're about to learn can change the way you see money forever. Now, here is what just happened. A few days ago, I walked into my bullion dealer's shop, not to buy anything, not to sell anything. I went in because I had seen something alarming on my phone. Silver had just made a violent, sudden move, and I wanted to see his face when it happened. I wanted to watch a man who has spent 30 years in this business react in real time. And what he said to me in that room is what this entire video is about, because it was not what I expected. And I think it might not be what you expect either. But before I tell you what he said, I need to give you the full picture. Because if I just give you the headline, you will not understand the weight of it. And this story has a lot of weight. Let me introduce you to someone. His name is Tariq. He is 31 years old. He works in IT. He lives in a decent apartment, drives a decent car, sends money home to his parents every month. And at the end of every month, after everything is paid, he has almost nothing left over. Tariq is not irresponsible. He does not gamble. He does not eat at fancy restaurants every night. He earns a salary that his father would have called a dream. And yet every single month, that same hollow feeling sits in his chest. The feeling that no matter how hard he works, he is standing on a treadmill that is always moving just a little faster than his legs can carry him. Tariq is not unusual. Tariq is the story of an entire generation. And here's the part that Tariq does not fully understand yet. And maybe you do not either. The money in his bank account is losing its purchasing power every single year. Not because someone stole it, not because he made bad decisions, but because of a system that was never designed to protect people like Tariq. Every year, the cost of things goes up. Every year, the value of what he has saved goes down a little bit. And every year, the gap between where he is and where he wants to be gets slightly wider, so slowly that you almost cannot see it. Until one day, you can see nothing else. This is the financial trap that silver has historically been an escape from. And this week, something just happened in the silver market that could be one of the most important signals in years. Now, here is where it gets interesting, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in just a moment. Earlier this year, we are talking January 2026, silver did something that almost nobody in mainstream media covered properly. It broke above $100 per ounce for the first time in history. Not 99, not 99 and a half, over $100. And then it kept going, all the way up to $116. People who had been holding silver for years, people who had been called crazy, called paranoid, called out of touch, suddenly had stacks that had more than doubled in value in a matter of months. Think about what that means in human terms. A man who bought 1,000 ounces of silver 3 years ago at $30 an ounce spent $30,000. At $116, that same silver was worth $116,000. That is not a theory. That is not a prediction. That happened this year. But here is what almost nobody talks about. After silver hit $116 in January, it started falling. Then it kept falling. Then it fell some more. By the time I walked into that bullion dealer's shop, silver was sitting at around $68 per ounce, a drop of nearly $50 from the peak. And across the internet, the silver community was in full panic. Message boards were burning. Comment sections were full of people saying the bull market was over, saying they had been fooled, saying precious metals were dead. And that is exactly when I called my dealer and said, I'm coming in. Because I have learned, in watching markets for a long time, that the moments of maximum panic are almost never the moments when the smartest people are selling. They are usually the moments when the smartest people are quietly buying. Stop. Read that again. I walked into his shop on a Thursday afternoon. The place smelled like it always does, metal and old wood and something vaguely serious. He was standing behind the counter, staring at a screen. And the moment I walked in, he looked up and said 2 words I was not expecting. He said, "Watch this." His screen was showing the silver spot price ticking in real time. And as we stood there, right there in that room, while the air conditioning hummed and a delivery truck rumbled past outside, silver started to move. Not slowly, violently, like someone had cut a rubber band that had been stretched too tight. The price jumped, and then jumped again, and he stood there watching it with an expression that was not excitement. It was not panic, it was something much harder to read. It was the expression of a man who has seen this before and knows exactly what it means. And I will tell you what he told me. But first, I need to tell you something that makes his words matter even more. Because most people watching this right now have never thought about why silver does what it does. They hear silver and they picture old coins and jewelry, maybe a ring, maybe a fork at a fancy dinner. But here's the reality that changes everything. Silver is not just a pretty metal, silver is inside your phone. It is inside every solar panel being installed right now across the world. It is inside the electric vehicle that your neighbor just bought. It is inside every medical device, every semiconductor, every piece of advanced technology that humanity is building right now at a scale that has never existed before in history. The world is on an industrial silver binge, and the supply of silver, the amount being mined and refined every year, has not kept up with that demand. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a supply and demand imbalance that analysts at major financial institutions have been quietly writing about for 2 years while the general public was focused on other things. And earlier this year, when silver hit $116, part of what was happening was the market starting to price in that reality. The question is, was the collapse from $116 to $68 a correction in a continuing bull market? Or was it the end of something? That is what I asked the dealer. He turned away from the screen, looked at me for a long moment, and then said something that I have been thinking about ever since. He said, "I've been selling silver for 30 years, and the drops that scared me were never the bottom. The bottoms always felt different. The bottoms felt like giving up. Let me tell you about what a silver bottom actually looks like from the inside of a bullion shop. When silver is genuinely bottoming out, when it is hitting its real low before a major move up, the phone stops ringing, the walk-in traffic disappears. The people who were excited 3 months ago go completely quiet. There's no panic selling because by the time you hit a real bottom, the panic sellers have already sold. What you see instead is silence, emptiness, a strange, heavy quiet that feels like everyone has agreed collectively that this thing is dead." And he told me, "That is not what I'm seeing right now." He said his shop was still busy. People were still buying. They were nervous, but they were buying. And the people who had been buying since silver was at $30 and $40, they were not selling, not one of them. He said in 30 years, he had never seen long-term holders this unmoved by a $50 drop. Now here is the part of this story that is going to make everything else click into place. There is one piece of information almost nobody is talking about right now, and I believe it might be the most important thing in this entire video. When silver spiked to $116 earlier this year, it did not happen in a vacuum. It happened because a specific combination of forces came together at the same time. The dollar was under pressure, industrial demand was surging, and a set of geopolitical decisions, particularly around trade and silver exports, created a supply shock that caught the market completely off guard. Since then, some of those pressures have eased. The market breathed out, and silver fell. But here is what did not change. The industrial demand is still there. The solar panel factories are still running. The EV manufacturers are still ordering. The semiconductor fabs are still consuming silver at a rate that would make your head spin. None of the structural reasons for silver's move earlier this year have gone away. What changed was sentiment. What changed was fear. What changed was a bunch of short-term traders looking at a chart and deciding it was safer to be somewhere else. And when fear is the only thing that changed, while everything fundamental stayed the same, that is historically when the big money starts moving in the opposite direction of the crowd. Let me bring Tarek back into this story for a second, because Tarek was watching all of this happen from his apartment. He had seen the silver spike. He had been too nervous to buy in January when the price was screaming upward. And then when it started falling, he told himself he had missed it. He told himself that the people who bought at $30 were lucky, and he was not. He sat on his hands and watched the number go down, and every week that passed felt like confirmation that he had made the right call by staying out. But here is what Tariq does not understand yet. The people who turned $30 into $116 did not look like geniuses when they were buying at 30. They looked crazy. Their family members asked them why they were buying chunks of metal instead of putting money in the bank. Their coworkers made jokes, and they sat quietly with their conviction month after month, while the price moved sideways or sometimes down, and then one day the world caught up with what they already knew. The question Tariq has to ask himself is not, did I miss it? The question is, what do I know right now, today, that the crowd has not fully priced in yet? This is the part most people skip, and it is exactly why they stay stuck. Let me tell you what happened in that bullion shop when the silver price made its violent move, because this is the moment I came for. As the price jumped on the screen, my dealer did not cheer. He did not pump his fist. He turned to me very calmly and said, "You know what this reminds me of? 2008. Not the crash, the recovery, the moment right after the worst of it, when nobody believed it yet." He said he had customers back then who called him after the financial crisis. and said they were thinking about buying gold and silver, but they wanted to wait until things calmed down. And he had to explain to them, patiently, every single time, that by the time things calm down, the price will already have moved. The opportunity does not wait for you to feel comfortable. He said that what he was seeing on the screen right now was a market that had been oversold, meaning people had sold too much, too fast, out of fear. And that when that happens, the snapback is usually fast, sharp, and brutal for anyone who's not positioned for it. Now, I want to be very clear about something. Nobody, not me, not my dealer, not the smartest analyst on Wall Street, can tell you with certainty that this was the bottom. Markets do not send announcements. They do not post on social media when the low is in. Anyone who tells you they know for certain where the bottom is in any market is either lying to you or lying to themselves. What we can say, what the data supports, what 30 years of experience in physical metals backs up, is that the conditions that caused silver to fall this far are starting to reverse. The dollar pressure is building again. The industrial demand pipeline is not slowing down. In the physical market, the actual coins and bars and rounds being bought and sold by real people is telling a very different story than the paper price on a screen. My dealer put it this way. He said, "Paper silver can go wherever fear takes it, but at some point someone has to deliver actual metal. And when that moment comes, the paper price and the physical price have a very uncomfortable conversation." He has seen that conversation happen before. He said, "It is not pleasant, but it is always clarifying." And I want you to think about what that means for a second. Because when he says the paper price and the physical price have an uncomfortable conversation, he is describing something that most retail investors never see coming. The paper market, futures contracts, ETFs, derivatives, can be pushed around by big institutions, algorithms, and hedge funds betting on short-term direction. They can flood the market with sell orders and drive the price down on a screen. What they cannot do is conjure actual physical silver out of thin air. They cannot manufacture a silver bar. And there are industries right now, solar manufacturers in China and India, electric vehicle producers in Europe, chip makers in Taiwan and South Korea, who are not watching a price chart to decide whether to buy silver. They need it to keep their factories running. They have purchase agreements, they have supply contracts. They cannot simply wait for the paper price to recover. They show up every single month and they buy physical silver because the alternative is shutting down a production line. That is the force that ultimately corrects the disconnect between what a screen says and what metal is actually worth. Now, here is where everything in this video comes together into one single truth that I want you to carry with you after this ends. There is a reason that ordinary people, people like Tariq, people like your parents, people like you and me, have historically been the last to benefit from these kinds of market moves. And it is not because we are less intelligent. It is not because we are less hardworking. It is because we are trained to wait until something feels safe before we act on it. And by the time something feels safe, the people who moved when it felt dangerous have already captured most of the gain. The entire history of wealth in this world is really the history of who acts when everyone else is frozen. And right now, today, as you are watching this video, there's an argument to be made that silver is sitting in exactly the kind of position that most ordinary people will look back on and say, "I knew, I was watching. But I waited for one more sign, and the sign never came. The price just moved." I am not telling you to go spend your rent money on silver. I am not telling you to bet everything on this. What I am telling you is that there is a difference between being cautious and being asleep. And too many people in Tariq's position, in your position, in positions just like yours, have confused those two things for their entire financial lives. But here is what nobody wants to admit. Most of us are not afraid of losing money. We are afraid of looking foolish. We are afraid of buying something and then watching it go down and having to explain ourselves to someone. And that fear, the fear of looking silly in front of other people, has cost ordinary families more wealth than any market crash in history. My dealer has customers who bought silver at $8 an ounce in the early 2000s. Do you know what happened to those people when silver moved from 8 to 49 in 2011? People called them lucky. People said they got in at the right time. People said it was a fluke. What those people actually did was ignore the noise for a decade, hold onto something real, and allow time and truth to do what they always do. Eventually agree with each other. The move you just watched happen in the silver market this week is not a guarantee of anything, but it is a signal. And signals are rare. And most people miss them, not because the signals are hidden, but because signals always look obvious in hindsight and terrifying in the moment. Here is what I want you to sit with before this video ends. There is a version of your life where you watched this moment from the outside, where you knew something was happening, you felt it, you researched it, you understood it, and then you waited just a little too long for that final piece of certainty that markets will never give you. And 5 years from now, silver is at a price you cannot believe, and you remember this video, and you remember that week in June 2026, and you say to yourself, That was right there. And there is another version, where you took what you learned here and you did something with it, where you stopped waiting for permission from the market to act, where you decided that your financial future was worth a little discomfort today. Those two versions of your life are available to you right now, both of them, equally accessible. The only thing separating them is what you decide in the next few hours. Tariq, by the way, I spoke to him recently. He had been sitting on the sidelines for 6 months, watching, waiting, researching. And after the silver move this week, he called me and asked one question. He said, "Is it too late?" And I told him what my dealer told me 30 years ago when he was just starting out. He said, "The only time it's too late is when you're looking backwards. The market will do what the market does. Silver will move in ways that none of us can predict with precision. But the fundamental truth underneath all of this, the reason that people across history, across cultures, across economies have held physical precious metals is not about price targets. It is about having something real, something that cannot be printed, something that does not depend on any government's promise or any bank's solvency. In a world that is printing money faster than at any point in modern history, in a world where the things you need cost more every single year, the question is not whether you can afford to own silver. The question is whether you can afford not to. The single most important thing I want you to take from this entire video is this. Wealth is not built by people who wait until the picture is completely clear. It is built by people who are willing to act when the picture is only mostly clear, and who have done enough research to be confident in what they see. Now ask yourself, honestly, where do you stand today? Not where you want to stand. Where do you actually stand? Do you have something real protecting your purchasing power? Do you have a plan that works even if the currency in your wallet keeps losing value? Or are you still waiting for that final sign? You can close this video right now and go back to what you were doing. The world will keep turning. The markets will keep moving. And maybe everything will be fine. Or you can decide, right here, right now, that you're going to do something different with what you just learned. Not tomorrow, not when it feels more comfortable. Now, the decision is yours. It has always been yours. If you learned something new today, make sure to subscribe to Money Insights and like this video. More powerful financial truths are coming next.